Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura and it is August and it is time for the block of the month. Now this is a free pattern that you can follow along with from Quilting Confections, and the block of the month program is called Shades of Gray. So they're all gray, black with a hint of blue, and just like all the other blocks, this one is another really striking block. It is a pinwheel block. What's really great about it, it only takes 2 fabrics. And you start with the fabrics exactly the same size. So you're going to need 3 6.5-inch squares of a black and white print, and you're going to need 1 6.5-inch square of blue. You're going to take the blue and 1 black and put them together right sides. And then you are going to cut this one on this angle and one on that angle. While you have the rotary cutter in your hand, you will take both of these and cut them right in half. So we'll put these aside and we're going to work on the square pieces. You need to sew the right hand side of the triangle. So you can still see that this was the outside square. This is the left side, this is the right side. This is the side that's going to need sewing. So that would be the right, that would be the right, that would be the right. You can stack them all in front of you with the square side facing you. You need to sew each right edge. And when you open it up, you will have this arrow shape. So sew each of those 4 edges. So take it now and press it so that the seam is going towards the darker fabric. And you can just finger press this, and by just finger pressing it, you're going to prevent it from stretching. Now the next seam we're going to sew is this one, and that's where the 4 larger triangles are going to come into play. These will get sewn together. Now when you sew them together, you will notice that the back triangle, the larger one, is slightly larger. And that's good because this is going to give you a chance to square it up so it's perfect when you're done. Now to square it up, the 6.5-inch Eleanor Burns square up ruler is really handy to use. There's a 5.5-inch mark, and you're going to take that 5.5-inch mark and you're going to place it on the seam. And following that center line should be lined up right to the stitching on the fabric going up to the point, and that 5.5-inch line is going to go on the seam, sewing the 2 triangles together. Then you're able to take your rotary cutter and trim off the extra. And while I have the rotary cutter in my hand, I do like to cut off the little dog ears. And when you open them up, it will equal a 5.5-inch square. Now press the seam going towards the solid piece. If you hold the corner, you will be able to rotate the pieces around. And by rotating them around, it will help keep the pinwheels in order. And all of the points are going in the same direction. Now you're going to be able to take and sew these 2 together and these 2 together. So the 2 halves are together. And if you flip it over, you can see that the seams are going in this direction. So continue to press the seams in that direction. So this seam will go in this direction, this seam will go in this direction. Now you're able to nestle those center seams together. Because they're opposing, they're going to stay nice and tight, and you're going to be able to get that point really nice. Once that seam is sewn, you need to continue the pressing going in the same direction, and you will be able to just separate a couple of the threads right in the center. And when those threads are separated, you're going to be able to continue that pressing, and it will stay nice and flat. And even this point here where there's a lot of fabric together will lay flat. So this block is done. It was so quick and easy. Let's do another variation. Let's do the same pattern in a different fabric. Choose 2 fabrics, a solid with a print. Make 2 blocks with the solid pinwheel in the center and the print on the outside. And make 2 blocks opposite so you have the print on the inside and the solid on the outside. Now let's sew them together. We're going to put a print and a solid together. Then we need to put them together, sewing the center seam. The same idea as you did with the pinwheel. So we've taken one simple block and we've multiplied it by 4, and by doing that we get a table topper, and it's a very cute little table topper. Now you can continue this and make more blocks and make a full-size quilt out of it. It is especially nice in children fabric. Because of the pinwheels, it's very bright and cheerful. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Sew Very Easy. I'll put a link in the description to the fabric and the free pattern. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.